Stop using the wrong words. The words we use matter, especially when it comes to programming and being specific for your training. Effort is not the same as intensity. Effort is referring to the subjective measure of how a set feels, right? So, for example, you've seen the video with Juji and Joey getting their absolute butts kicked in a training session. That is high effort, which is different than intensity. Intensity is referring to an objective measure of the percentage of a 1 rep max. So the intensity of a training session may be 80% of your 1 rep max for 5 reps, whatever, right? So when we are using these words, we need to be very specific, right? Most people, when they hear intensity, they think, yeah, getting all jacked up. We're gonna go until we puke, do all that stuff, like the train your ass off stuff. They think that's a high level of intensity. But when it comes to training, that's not the case. It's actually a low level of intensity and a high level of effort. So that brings us on to how hard should you be training? How do you determine the effort level versus the intensity? Well, these are some very basic, quick and fast rules you can kind of stick to for your training. Again, super general. It's all going to depend highly on what you're training for, whether it's bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, just look better naked, like whatever you want to train for. It's pretty common to see these percentages. So 60% plus of your 1 rep max, again, talking about intensity, is in that hypertrophy range. You can get more hypertrophy with higher percentages, and you may be able to get more hypertrophy with lower percentages. But realistically, sticking around that 60+% range, you're going to be in that zone. Same thing for strength, about 75% to like 85, maybe 90%. You'll get stronger in lower percentages, but the most optimal ranges are probably that 75% plus. Finally, peaking maximal power or speed, we're looking at 90% plus, right? So when most people are thinking about everyday training, you're probably going to be within this like 60 to 75 to 85% range most of the time. You do not need to do what we do to Juji and Joey when they came out here to yourself all the time. That will result in overtraining, that will result in you feeling like crap, and you won't hit your goals. The idea is we need to make sure that we're training at a volume, at an intensity that's appropriate for the goal that we have, but also the effort level. The effort level should be there as well. It should be relatively difficult. Most of the time, things in your training should be hard. But the fact of the matter is they do not need to be that 10 out of 10 RPE all the time. That's just not responsible, and that's not going to be the best way for you to reach your goals. So how I want to kind of describe this is utilizing some equipment as examples when referring to how hard you should be training most of the time. I know you guys are more visual, right? So as we come over here to our Elite FTS bench, we have 2 different bars. First and foremost, we have one of our most popular bars, our Elite FTS Power Bar. Now, this is an awesome bar. If you're a powerlifter, you need to have one of these in your arsenal. But this bar is not for everybody. This bar is not made for everyday training, really. It's very specific to a goal. This knurling is brutal. It's like a cheese grater. It's one of the most aggressive knurlings that we have or we've even seen. We did that on purpose because if you're going for a max deadlift, if you're going to go for a max squat, you want something that will really dig into your back and you can really grip in your hands that won't go anywhere, right? On the other hand, we have something like our Elite FTS multibar. Now this is something that not a lot of you know about because first off, I don't think you guys know that we have a multibar or what a multibar is used for. A multibar is pretty good at everything, right? So it has, if you notice here, it's got 2 different rings. I know not a lot of you do Olympic lifting, but we have a bench ring, like a powerlifting ring, and then we have an Olympic ring, right? A snatch ring. You can do Olympic lifting with this bar. You can do powerlifting with this bar. You can do anything with this bar because it's a multi-bar. A couple other things. Does not have center knurling. Why? If you're doing high reps of anything, that center knurling is going to get in the way. It's not going to feel good and it's going to beat you up. Lastly, The knurling on this bar, a lot less intense. Again, higher rep sets, higher rep exercises. You don't want to beat the shit out of your hands, because if you beat the shit out of your hands, then you're going to be in a position where you can't train as well. That's what we're going to be talking about in terms of that intensity, right? Or that effort. If you are constantly pushing your training at the highest level effort, that subjective measure, as you can, you're going to find that you're going to get hurt, you're going to get injured. If I use the Elite FTS power bar for every single exercise I do, RDLs, overhead press, it's going to beat the shit out of my hands. And there's going to be a day where a callus rips and I can't train as hard as I normally can. So I need to have training sessions, maybe utilizing the Elite FTS multibar, where we can get in a lot more reps. It's almost like punching the clock, right? Everyday training, sitting between that 60% and that 85%, just rotating through that, getting the work done, doing what you need to do, and then getting out of the gym, right? So if you realize that your training may be kind of pressing the gas a little bit too hard, you find yourself in a position where you are constantly exhausted, constantly beat up, then you'll find that you will not be able to train as long and you're not able to get the results that you want out of the gym because you're too beat up and you feel like shit. So understanding the difference between effort and intensity, as we just showcased there at the bench, is really, really important. But to give you that kind of a overall too long didn't read version, if you're going to be working on a rep range or a workout or a training session that's focused more on a higher level of effort, you may want to grab a bar like the multi-bar, the Elite FTS multi-bar, because it's not going to beat you up. It's going to allow you to do the higher amount of effort in that exercise or in that training session and get you towards your goal a little bit better. But if you're looking for that higher intensity, if you're looking for that 1 rep max on a deadlift, if you're looking for something more specific for powerlifting, I would reach for something like our Elite FTS power bar, right? Because it's going to allow you to get up to those 90, 95, 100, 105% on that higher intensity scale. But just giving you the idea of having the option and ability to waive the effort, waive the intensity, right? You can't have high effort, high intensity all the time. You'll burn out, you'll fatigue, you'll break down, and you'll feel like crap. But you can't just have high effort and low intensity, because then you'll get weak, right? The idea is we need to be able to focus in on all of these attributes, focus in on creating the program as a whole, understanding what you're doing for the year, understanding what you're doing for the season, to be able to sprinkle in these days of higher intensity, higher effort, mix the two occasionally, and make sure you have the right equipment for the job. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And for myself and Jacob behind the camera, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.